Thank you for those who are still here. Thank you very much. I know it's a long day, but we have 2 more sessions to go, and trust me, every single content that we choose is very, very important and very, very knowledgeable for us to all share. I'm here today with Pak Yunus Triyonggo, the HR Director of Bridgestone Tires Indonesia. And most importantly, the effort that Pak Yunus have done over the past years to unite one voice for the best direction of HR and HRD Indonesia through Gerakan Nasional Indonesia Kompeten. Yeah. Before I go further for this session, I would like to share that because of GNIK, over the past only 3 weeks ago, because I'm foreign in terms of HR for many, many years. I left HR and HRD, and we met three weeks ago, and within 3 weeks, the crowd that you saw today morning is responsible by Pak Yunus, thank you very much, from GNIK, and GNIK team around Indonesia, and also you introduced me to Pak Reza from Reza Jababeka. He worked at Jababeka HR Forum, HRD Director in Indonesia, and that's why we got the crowd today. And I'm so glad that we invite all the HR and HRD practitioners of Indonesia to witness what happened today morning. With that, without further ado, Pak Yunus, I'll pass the session to you for you to present your thing. Then I'll come back here for us to have our moderating session.
Sure. Thank you, Brother Faleigh. Thank you for time. So let me just stand up. Okay, I think this is a truly honor for me to stand up on the stage and share regarding to our just maybe a simple initiative in Indonesia as a HR practitioner. So the calling is how to create, how to make Indonesia competent in 2030. So let me just go through my simple presentation today, creating future ready workforce through our blueprint, 2030 Indonesia Competence Blueprint, seamless execution. Next. This is about me. I'm a common HR practitioner. I was starting my career as a management trainee in multinational company at the time. And then I will expose in the local company, partly. But the rest is actually multinational company. As Unilever Indonesia, Nestle Indonesia, also Sirat Produce is kind of poultry company. Sampurna is cigarette company, but maybe just only short, not more than 1 year there. And now I'm in charge in the HRGA in PT Bridgestone Tire Indonesia. Bridgestone is a market leader in Indonesia and hopefully also in the world. I formed INDRI. INDRI is Indonesia Human Resources Institute. So until now the activity is providing the training is, I think, like you all. Training for the HR practitioners all over Indonesia, and we have done several batches to help and to facilitate all the HR practitioners in Indonesia to be competent, because we have already the competency standard in Indonesia, so we refer to that standard on developing all modules, curriculum, syllabus, and all the things that we deliver as a learning program. Me and several here, I think most of the audience is also coming from GNIK. So on the February 2018, so we started the simple initiative. Because we are as a HR practitioner, I think no need to be selfish, just to think our company, inward, but we need to think about the nation, about the manpower, about the human capital of Indonesia, how to make them competent on their respective profession. So that's why GNIK was started in 18. So until now we still continuing and to support all the initiative how to bring Indonesia to be competent in 2030 and to be, enjoying the golden era of Indonesia and 2045. I will start my presentation with a challenge. So this is the challenge of Indonesia. What will be the challenge? How to develop the human capital, superior human capital, professional, productive, competitive. We as HR practitioner, I think this is our game. This is our expertise. This is our field. So let's work together to make Indonesia having superior, professional, productive, competitive, and of course, embodied with Indonesian identity. I think Prof. Yasir already also introduced all of us, gotong royong is part of the Indonesian value. I think we need to create human capital of Indonesia, competent human capital with gotong royong philosophy. In the Global Competitive Index, you can see there the statistic data that actually Indonesia progress is very well. Indonesia is the second best country in terms of the progression. So now Indonesia in the 75 out of 113. So we are just left behind Albania. But this is the progression. But we can see in the current states, we are still far behind other developed countries. So this is also the indication, we can see it, that there are still a lot of mismatched challenges in Indonesia between, the graduate produced by the formal education in Indonesia compared with the industry needs, still the gap there. Gen Z unemployment is also increasing in Indonesia. Workers' termination, layoff increased significantly recently. And also companies' bankruptcy is being a new challenge due to the downturn economy in Indonesia. Unfortunately, we have also a legacy that more than 70% of the Indonesian workforce is actually coming from the graduate from the elementary, junior, and high school. So this is our legacy. We cannot avoid this legacy. It's given. And this is what we have now in Indonesia. So me, you all, as a HR practitioner, has to be aware this situation. So we need to find the formula, how to encourage them to be competent, to be skillful, and their respective profession. Next. So by having this ambition that on the 2038 up to 2041, our target is having more than 14,500 US dollars, in terms of our PDB. So we are now still on the close to 5,000. It's still far away. But these targets already put in Bappenas. Bappenas is the Minister of National Planning of Indonesia. And they already put there. So I just want to convince to you all as a HR practitioner in Indonesia, this is our target. So let's be it. Let's achieve it by all the effort we can spend based on our expertise and experience. So by having here in the amidst and the IFTDO forum, I think Bro Faleigh, we really hoping that we can also have an input, sharing best practice. I think this morning we just share with our senior from India. We can share how to build an entrepreneurship regarding to, approaching the retirement. So many, opportunity we can build together. So I hope that by standing here and the IFTDO conference states, I'm begging to you all to the senior person, senior guru in IFTDO, please teach us, please give me, best practice sharing how to achieve this GDP target. Along the way, we also experiencing the ratio between student and lecturer still big gap there. Administration burden for our lecturer is increasing from time to time. But fortunately, we have there Miklos Sunario, the young guy there, high performer and Indonesian student in AI development from Vancouver, Canada. So despite we have so many challenges, I think this is a good news for us, for Indonesia, that we have potential talent, like Miklos Sunario. How about the government officer, the government servant? Our challenge there is meritocracy, merit system needs to be enhanced in public sector, and around 35% government officer weak performance. So, what will be done by our government? President Prabowo already put on the 2045 vision. One of the 5 pillars there is all about human capital. So the human capital index score there, the target is 0.73. How about now? Indonesia now, the level is 0.54. Still big gap there. But you can see there in the human capital index, there are several parameters we need to achieve, we need to improve in order to achieve the 0.73 here. So, all colleagues and all my senior here, if we do nothing, we just let it go. So, we will lose the momentum. We will left behind among other ASEAN countries. And we will lose direction. And our future generation in Indonesia is only becoming consumerist society. This is very dangerous for the nation. So that's why GNIK established. So we built among all the senior HR practitioners in Indonesia just to unite each other, just to think, to create the common enemy of Indonesia, which is human capital quality of Indonesia. So that's why GNIK is very happy when Bro Faleigh approached me that IFTDO will, conduct the conference in Jakarta. So without any reservation, I support you fully, 100%. If I can support you more than 100%, maybe I will do it. Maybe 1,000%, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Because we need that. Gerakan Nasional Indonesia Kompeten, national movement of Indonesia Kompeten, is actually the unity of senior HR practitioners to collaborate, how to accelerate the movement and the massive skill. If we do it regularly, I don't think we will achieve the target. 0.73 human capital index. Cannot. We need to accelerate, we need to find the formula, how to make it like a significant impact. If not, I don't think we will at that level in 2030 or even in the 2045. So this is the theme behind the GNIK. We just built we call Perkumpulan Pejuang Indonesia Kompeten, in English maybe, what do we call it? Indonesia Kompeten Advocates Association, maybe. That's the in English. I just, maybe that's the close translation in English, yeah? And this is the person behind the organization. Next. And I don't know exactly what was happening in Indonesia. When we launched the GNIK in 2018, firstly, we very pessimistic. How can the HR practitioner is already enjoying the high level of salary, bonus, car allowance, car facilities, etc. And they already done the good performance in each company, respective company. And now we call them, please think about the nation. But again, you can see this figure, 42 area directors of GNIK spread it out all over Indonesia. And all of them is actually volunteer. We in the Jakarta, we do not provide anything to them. We just touching the calling. This is your call to be a change agent in each area. And you will do voluntarily. How to create the ecosystem which will create the talent, human capital development, training, etc. in each area. And we are happy to have all of them. And until now, we are still discussing, still crafting the strategy, because every location in Indonesia has a unique situation. So they know better than me. So I just empower them just to make it as many as manpower Indonesia in its location competent. And then, on top of that, I think Bro Faleigh already mentioned that we also inviting all the association, all the community of human resources in Indonesia, because Bro Faleigh and my senior colleague from IFTDO, Indonesia has so many associations, more than 80, can you imagine? But as far as I observe, they just, doing the activities, just showing their identity, just make it them popular. Come on. I just remind to all of them, no, you should not to do that, because this is very easy. You build association, you build a community, and you do seminar here and webinar here, and then you will be maybe famous, and your community. But our real enemy is there, the Indonesian manpower and its industrial sector. So we unite more than 80 human resources association and community in one umbrella, Indonesia Human Resources Ecosystem. Are they under GNIK? No. GNIK has no ambition to coordinate them. They just build by themselves, and we just facilitate to create the common enemy. The time is very limited. 2030 is very near. 2045 is very near. Come on. We have to focusing on how to enhance the human capital quality, skill, and also mindset and character. So in Jakarta and surrounding, we also gather all the HR practitioners. This is all from HR director and SVP and also other senior title in company. So firstly, we call B300, because at that time, the total participant in the first meeting is around 300. So we call B300. But again, from time to time, the number is increasing, and now it's more than 425. And we are not just a community, but GNIK is a national movement. Remember what Professor Yasirli in this morning remind all of us, that we need to work hand in hand together. Indonesia is very large. Indonesia is very big. So by having the national movement, hopefully, and the 2030, Bro Faleigh, we can maybe conduct this kind of conference, and we can declare that we are really enjoying the peak of demographic bonus in Indonesia. So what we have done so far, I think we are as a HR practitioner, I think it's not polite if we just talk. We just NATO, not action, talk only. we have to show to the audience, to the public of Indonesia, that we have to do something to inspire them, to move further, to do more, achieve more. So this is part of our activities. We approach every ministries. We do visit to them, we introduce ourselves and our ambition. And in parallelly, we also explore whether is there any collaboration opportunity to do together. We also, during the COVID-19, so everybody staying at home, right? So we do also the mega digital, we call. So all over Indonesia, every professional from every corner in Indonesia can follow this kind of program. We collect the best, it's our senior in Jakarta to deliver the best practice and sharing the wisdom. On top of all that, we also do various activities with the minister, with the National Bureau of the Government Officer Training and Development. And I think this is the picture just Professor Jasildi mentioned, that we also support the productivity talk podcast. And the minister trustly to give GNIK. Just, Pak Yunus, you just assign all the senior member in GNIK to share the wisdom, to share the best practice regarding the productivity, and now it's still going on. Because we are coming from the HR practitioner world, so we have to walk the talk, right? We have to put the good example to other profession. And we build this model. So since 2014, we have a competency standard. And we have also established the book as a reference, how to build the professional HR practitioner in Indonesia. There are 61 competency unit we have to follow as a basic requirement to be competent HR professional. On top of that, maybe let me share also from my humbleness, my deepest humbleness. We also have to the city, government city in Bekasi, we call. We do the upscaling project for vocational high school student in Bekasi. And this is being a prototype to be, replicated to other area. The other one is we also provide the training for 500 government officer as part of to, equip them with the 12 soft skill. I think now we are not allowed to mention soft skill, right? I think the more accurate terminology is essential skill. Because something soft maybe and the other time can be hard. So we better to say essential skill. And then we work together with the Lembaga Administrasi Negara. This is also government training agency for the public sector. We work together to build ASN Talent Academy. And you can see the participant there, 2,500 and last 2 years. Last year is 1,000 and now it's still going on. So we are happy as the GNIK member to provide all the training, asynchronous, synchronous, with providing also the coach and the mentor, how to help we call ASN. ASN is a government officer, to be competent as being the change agent of the Indonesian government. The other one is we also facilitate the apprenticeship for the government officer, and also providing the apprentice program for the university graduate, especially on the vocational. And also we create kind of short course in the digital and AI-based human resources management. So the participant is coming from all students all over Indonesia, from many universities of Indonesia, and this is free. Because actually the cost is borne by the Minister of the Education at that time. And I think now we are also exploring with the Minister of Religion in Indonesia. We will start in the next June 20, how to build the framework to actually equip and open opportunity for all students to build them to be, better graduate in the end. We also provide the emerging leadership program. I think, Bro Faleigh, we need to explore with you and the IFTDO how to craft it, combine, because we already provide the curriculum and also all the lecturer there, all the instructor and facilitator there. This is my last slide, actually, how chasing dream of Indonesia Kompeten. This is the only we have. If you want to make Indonesia Kompeten in 2013, and Indonesia will enjoying golden era in the 2045. So this is what we have done, just finished actually, to craft the blueprint. I will explain one by one quickly, but again, this blueprint will support our ambition, how to create the policy synchronization and regulatory advocacy. Happy to hear that Professor Dasila is saying that he already built like a collaboration with the under minister. The experience, the situation we have so far in Indonesia, sometimes each minister is just go on their own direction. So GNIK offer as we are as a collaborator, we are as a facilitator to synchronize policy and regulatory. Second one, national competency mapping. We have done for the 3 prioritized industrial sector, work together with the manpower minister, first and the plantation, second automotive, and the third is in telecommunication. So we will enlarge that kind of study. Because the expert says that if you want to manage something, you have to be able to measure it. If we can't measure it, don't even think you will manage it. You will be able to manage it. The third one, lifelong learning infrastructure. This is very important. The fourth one, inclusive access and community empowerment. And last but not least is digitalization and AI-based learning. So this is my last 3 slides, just to make you comfortable what is our blueprint. The first one, we are crafting our blueprint based on the theory. Resource-based view, stakeholders theory, human capital approach, dynamic capabilities, and social capital theory. This is part of our brainstorming to make sure that our blueprint is already have a strong foundation in terms of the grand theory. So from those 6 theories, we move up to create the conceptual pillar: strategic talent management, leadership, stewardship, good governance, DEI, and also adaptive future-ready workforce. So, what will be our ultimate goal? Our ultimate goal is, as I just mentioned repetitively, is Indonesia Emas. Indonesia Emas, in English we call golden era of Indonesia, because Indonesia is chosen by God, by Lord, that we will enjoying the peak democratic balance in 2030 up to the 2035. So not every country will enjoying this kind of blessing from the God. So again, I'm inviting you all here in this room, please support your country, your nation. And then our goal is only 2 actually. The first is creating the employability better. Second one is entrepreneurial capability. Regarding to the employment opportunity, this is out of our control. Maybe this kind of area will be done by our association, our employer association.
No problem.
But we are in GNIK just focusing on employability and entrepreneurial capability. So last but not least, we develop our blueprint based on the 8 strategic initiative. You can see there entrepreneurial competencies, and also local wisdom, research and big data, entrepreneurial capabilities campaign, and also vocational education, sustainable character-driven, future skill, and last but not least is collaboration between all stakeholders. I think that's all from me, Brother Faleigh. So please help us to have your valuable input. This is very rare opportunity, right? So thank you.
Thank you, bro. Yunus, we have been, even though we just met 3 weeks ago, but we become brothers. That's why we keep on saying bro Yunus and bro Faleigh. Because I believe wherever you are in the world, I've traveled, we both have traveled around the world. You can't deny fate, takdir. You know, when I met Pak Yunus, he shared to me the challenges. Yet, whenever he tells me about the challenges, I can sense the passion is double. One challenge, two passion. And when he heard my story that 2010, I had a calling where I left the business, I left the training world. I found a foundation called Futurist Foundation. We've been mentoring entrepreneurs, Malaysia, Indonesia. We've been helping the cooperatives, you know, the startups, the farmers, the fishermen, and so on. And never thought I would come back to the corporate world, you know, wearing nice clothes and wearing my boots again, and having this corporate kind of stature. But when I had a call from my friend Ahmad Abana and Udish requesting me to come back to IFTDO, I said, hey, why not? You know, because I've been in Indonesia, you never been to Indonesia, and I've been searching and Googling around what's happening over here. Hence how I know of Pak Yunus, through Google. Because I was like, wow, this guy is doing so much, you know? And I find that IFTDO can help. Because I know IFTDO since 1997. You know, the might and you can see all of us, Patty, US, travel 30 hours a day, you know? 30 hours to come here. We have many other speakers from Portugal, Pedro, Jordan, right? Wafa, you know, from all over, Atul. Yeah, even though India, but somehow very far. India is very big. So also 36 hours. So imagine, for 51 years, the speakers, the board, the panelists come from all around the world once a year to share knowledge. So when I read your article, I asked my friend, Pak Oki, where is he? I don't know where he. So I asked him, I said, do you know this guy? And I asked Pak Steven as well, BRE. Then he said, yeah, of course I know this guy. I said, okay, give me handphone number. I want to WhatsApp this guy, alhamdulillah. He replied, and we've been working hard to get the crowd that you saw today morning. Let's give a round of applause to Pak Yunus. Thank you, Pak Yunus. Because we believe that we can make change, yeah? But one question that I want to ask you before I open to the floor, Pak Yunus, is when did you start the movement of GNIK?
To be exact, it's 10 February 2018. That's the, you know, in the morning, and the location of, we call a business school in Jakarta and Kalibata. We have actually, yeah, this is the story. We have a breakfast gathering amongst the HR senior practitioner. And the gathering is already up. The time is up. It's already, you know, dismissed, actually. But there are 3 persons still left there. And we start to talk. Because in the 2019, the President Jokowi declared that 2019 would be the year of human capital. So the simple question there is, what will we do as a HR practitioner? So that's the story, actually, Bro Faleigh.
Thank you. And we have seen the journey of GNIK, and within a short period of time, you have 42 GNIK directors, and all apparently all been waiting for some movement to start. And alhamdulillah, you have started this. You have all the support from over 100 HR associations in Indonesia. And to unite them is a wonderful job. Just now, before our session, we had a session from HRD Corp, former COO. And just now also I shared that Dr. Pritam from Mauritius. Pritam, hi. So Malaysia started 1993 during Mahathir Mohamad. You know, he drive the force that time. And alhamdulillah, I think Mauritius, the predecessors of Dr. Pritam many years ago have come to Malaysia a lot, and they have practiced every single thing that we did back then and established Human Resource Development Council Mauritius 2003. Let's give a hand of applause to Dr. Pritam and his effort in Mauritius. How do you think it's possible to do it here? And how IFTDO can help, and how the community and all the 100 HR association can help together?
Yeah, Indonesia, in terms of the, we have been experiencing so many incidents regarding to the weights. So when we increase the minimum weights, so it's always demonstration from the labor union, etc., etc. So the money there is very sensitive. When we want to collect money from the private sector, for example, so we need to be precisely where come from that money. If coming from the deduction of, the employee or worker, so I don't think it will, work in Indonesia, because so many sensitive issues there. But if we can put the spirit behind it, that guys, we need to have an Indonesia Kompeten 2030. And we have to work together. We have to gather all the donation or the fund together. And, it's company, when you chip in maybe some money, you can utilize it anyway. But by work together, collaborate together, so the miracle will be there. So that's the key, bro, Faleigh. How to socialize, how to campaign that. And I'm more than happy because Professor Yasirli already mentioned to me when he already met with the Minister of Human Resources of Malaysia. And he already shared to the senior member of GNIK. And we feel very happy, to be honest. Yep.
Inshallah, we will make it happen. And do you think, do you prefer? let me try to make the question more safer for you to answer. What will your wish list? Yeah, which one you prefer? The initiative of creating a Human Resource Development Council in Indonesia, drive by government, or continue by the corporates that you have done? Malaysia, government, 33 years ago. Mauritius, Dr. Pritam, if I may say, is government as well, right? Both government and corporate. So there's another progress there, alhamdulillah. Thank you for that. I need that hope. So government full, Malaysia 33 years ago. 10 years later, 2003, Mauritius, corporate and government. What's your wish list that for Indonesia with 300 million people? What do you think? Government or just full private driven?
Yeah, this is a difficult question, to be honest. But from GNIK point of view, government is our key stakeholders. On all the activities we groom, we develop the talent across all over Indonesia, government is our key stakeholders. But as just I share, Bro Faleigh, that there are some homework also in the government side, right? So I think the best choice is who will initiate the movement. And then after that, who will execute, who will campaign, do the campaign all over Indonesia, up to the, we can convince the private sector to start with the maybe small step there. So that's my answer. It's kind of diplomatic answer, right? But I'm happy because I have Professor Yasiri as the manpower minister. He is, he shows his openness to work together with all the stakeholders in Indonesia in order to create the people-centric organization, as it just explained to us. So that's actually the very potential starting point, I guess.
Yeah. At any other time, maybe we can share more serious questions. Maybe we make it more as diplomatic as possible. But you're right. Even I had a chat with with Patty, with some of our board members just now, that we are very, very impressed with the Indonesian manpower ministry and the minister especially, where he's very serious of not just talking, not just researching, because some is proven track record already. I think just now also we have a quick chat with him, and then a lot of changes that he will do, inshallah. How about the SME sector? Because your experience for the past 30, 40 years has been in the MNC, big companies. Just now we heard that Dr. Arif, the former CEO of HRD Corp, mentioned that from 1993 to 2020, maximum the HRD fund will be around less than 600 million ringgit. But somehow, when the ACTA, or when the bill been passed, not just the SMI, that the government target to have complementary provision for the levy, the whole country, the whole company in Malaysia, and I think 5 workers above, they have to contribute. Hence why the number increased from 600 million to 2.6 billion. And of course, in Indonesia, you have so many factories, yeah. But do you think the SMEs will jump in as well to focus on learning and reskilling? These are my last question.
Yeah. First, the MNC, if we are talking about the MNC, multinational companies, I guess MNC logical thinking is also logic, meaning that if we want them to chip in, to participate, so what's in it for me? That's our challenge, to create the offering, if I say quote on the offering to them. That's for MNC. For SME, from my thought, I think we need to help them. It's kind of cross subsidy, because as far as I know, SME in Indonesia, they are, have a limited access to like a talent development, leadership, etc. So I want to position this initiative as helping them by having the fund from maybe the big company in Indonesia, including the MNC. So I think that's the way I think will be more convenient from the point of view of the government, Bro Faleigh. But again, we need to prepare it carefully, and we need to involve all stakeholders, related stakeholders carefully also, with the right approach and also right communication strategy, I guess.
Kita bismillah ya. After this,
Bismillah.
as I said, but by the way, I forgot to mention in the welcome message just now, because Dr. Yasirli was rushing. We have discussed in the board that what I told you, the plan of us coming here for the first time is not just for a 3-day conference. Inshallah, alhamdulillah, the board have agreed in principle where we will form IFTDO-ASEAN office based in Jakarta.
Wow.
And
Very great.
And
Thank you.
because why ASEAN? Because Indonesia is the secretariat for ASEAN. You know, over many, many years, Indonesia has been chosen to be the secretary for ASEAN. Hence, I proposed to the board, and the board have principally agreed that we will form IFTDO-ASEAN. Thank you, Roy. IFTDO-ASEAN chapter, officially registered in Indonesia, and working together with GNIK.
Wow, thank you.
As our major partner and main partner, together working with the ministry and together with your 100 HR associations across Indonesia, inshallah we can do the best. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Bismillah,
Thank you,
inshallah.
bro.
So
Wow,
before I end the session, maybe I can take one question from the floor. Anybody? Oh, we have one. Please, can I have a microphone over there, please? We'll take one question, then we'll go to the next session. Because the next session, our speaker came all the way from Australia. We have a small special
Thank
session.
you
Yes, please.
for the opportunity.
Your name and where you're from?
Okay, my name is Devi. I'm from Ministry of National Development Planning or Bappenas that Pak Yunus mentioned in the presentation before. Yeah. I'm just curious about the GNIK movement about training and development. But from all the presentation before, Pak Yunus also mentioned about the sector for formal employees. But as the presentation of Pak Minister before, the manpower of Ministry of Manpower, it's mentioned as there is a increasing number of informal workers or workers in the economy. How can GNIK prepare for the capacity building for those workers? Thank you.
Thank you. Pak Yunus.
Yeah, I think this is a very important question. Yeah, I think we also already met with your minister, Pak Professor, and I think he is very humble person and very open and wide perspective, yeah, I would say. And we thank God we have Professor there as a Minister of Bappenas. Just think logically, GNIK born from the HR practitioner, as simple as that. So we're focusing how to make our HR practitioner competent first. Because if we say we want to make a competent in other profession, I think the public will ask us, right? How about you? So that's why we developed the competency standard. We also advocating the regulation. Now it's mandatory, bro. Yeah, mandatory. Yeah. So after that, we think beyond HR. That's the second step. Beyond HR meaning we also want to intervene to the government officer, to the vocational high school student, and also the other part is for lecturer and etc. etc. So the point is just mention that's our next journey. How to actually to equip all the quote unquote the untapped area, I would say, that we can also prepare. And now we are preparing the proposal to provide the leadership training for the cooperative body built by the government. 80,000 cooperative body in each village. So we just say to the minister of the cooperative body that we are ready to support you, to equip all the leader of cooperative body and each village competent. And we already prepared the curriculum.
It's very good. Congratulations for that. This koperasi, kan?
Koperasi. Yeah.
So just for the foreigners, or maybe some Indonesians do not know, Malaysia have 16,000 cooperatives. And of course, we learned the cooperative from the European. We learned from the British, we learned from the Dutch. And so we have 16,000 cooperatives, I'm not sure how many really active, but Indonesia have 260,000 cooperatives. 260,000 cooperatives. And tomorrow, tomorrow, I have invited Dikopin to come. And I want to listen to what they have prepared to share with us, what they think about, the things that we want to do, because one thing I believe that you don't change things just from the city or the capital. You want to make real change, you change from the rural area first, where the cooperatives are. So what you are doing, I believe, is perfect, and I think with the grace of God, that things will be done. We'll be done fine, inshallah. Bismillah. So I got this times up is everywhere already. I'm so sorry. So when you have an Indian blood in you, you start to talking and non-stop. So anyway, thank you, Dr. Yunus.